Welcome back. We're here at the bottom of Stewart Island. Well, kind of somewhat the bottom of Stewart Island down the Lords River. We were on a 10-day hunting trip with the boys. So today we're heading out for a little bit of a dive and we're going to go head around the corner a wee bit and target a bit of everything for dinner tonight. The boys are getting a bit hungry and they want a bit of seafood, so we may as well swim out to the boat, even though I've got an endless line. So I could have just pulled the boat in, but I couldn't be bothered, especially when I've got a wetsuit. It's pretty fun to pull myself out there, as long as those 7 gillas don't give me a little tickle. Now, we're going to go pick up the boys, we're going to go head out and get ourselves a few paua and some crays and some blue cod. So hopefully you can come along with us while we talk shit, have a good time. Enough for a feed for tonight. Keep all these boys happy and fed while we're down here at Ruakaya, Stewart Island. So come along, hang out, and let's do this. Spot number one we're going to head to is a little bit shallower, somewhere for our lungs, kind of a warm up, sort of sitting at not even 3 or 4 meters. It's crazy down here, blue cod and 3 meters of water. And we're just going to test out my new roller spear gun that I've just got. But when you get a new gun, you're going to miss sometimes. Even when you don't have a new gun, you're still going to miss. I'm a little bit rusty, so we had to redeem ourselves and shoot a nice Cherokee. These things aren't very big, but God, they're tasty. There's something about them with sashimi that I just can't get enough of. Now, it's pretty important with these kinds of fish that you're going to give them a gut and bleed them out, but first give them a quick icky spike to put them out of their misery. These fish are going to taste absolutely amazing just being shot on the spear gun. It's a fast death. But you just got to remember, when you're having them the sashimi, just remove all that blood, take the gills out. Well, I don't really take them out, I just put a cut up the gills. I'll sort that out later. It's always interesting just to see what these fish are eating, so they're looking for new territory to dive in at places where their food sources are. Something else you don't really run into very often is a seahorse just swimming around in the open. Just came swimming over towards me. I guess he was looking at me as a form of shelter until I grabbed him and then he decided to escape. But pretty cool little critters, these guys. You'd think that they'd be like sort of soft, slimy sort of feeling things, but they're actually quite hard and bony when you grab them. Like it's almost like I don't know whether it's an exoskeleton, but yeah, they're pretty cool little critters. I don't really run into these all the time, but I've seen a few over the years. But yeah. I just spotted a little something, a little sweet treat from the surface. There isn't a huge amount of these guys around here, but we are in season, so thankfully we've found a nice little scallop, about 110 centimeters, which the legal size is 100. And if you go further down the island, you can get some massive scallops. And I'm just going to go for a cruise across the bottom just to see whether there's a few more. We're sitting in about 10 or 11 meters here, and yeah, there just doesn't seem to be a lot around. So I've decided to put him back down and let him carry on from breeding. This little blue cod seemed a bit shy, so I thought I'd come across the top, and once again I missed with my spear gun. So I think I'm going to have to change over to my other spear gun, my tried and trusted, and have a little bit more practice on that spear gun another day. So we just decided to go down and have a little look for some crayfish down in some little bit deeper areas. Crays around here are ridiculously hard to find. There's such deep kelp and wade down in their holes in the darkness, so they're pretty hard to actually locate. But once you locate them, there's quite a few within that area. And then to do the old grab, the old blind grab due to not being able to see very much. Nice little one for the dinner. And I've just noticed a little blue cod sitting there on the top of that boulder that I just pulled the crayfish from. So I quickly get to the surface, put my crayfish away, and breathe up and head back down and try shooting this blue cod. Hopefully this time I actually hit it. That would be relatively helpful if I did. I absolutely smack him because I realised I double loaded my spear gun. which is what I'm used to up in the North Island, but down here there's no real necessity to, but I guess it's just a habit that I had. Once again, give them a bleed, give them a gut, just so this fish comes up so much nicer and more tender. They can last a lot longer when sitting on ice without that gut sitting there breaking them down. Rock and just seeing what's under here. But as you can see, there's not really a crack under there, but look around you and look at all the life still around here at Stewart Island. It is just thriving. Such a cool place to be in. Time for another head down, and hopefully this time we have a bit more luck on the old crayfish under the boulders. Well, you can see there's not a lot of structure under here, but what there is these really fine cracks under a big deep piece of kelp, so there's a lot of searching involved to find these guys. But here's one. This is requiring a bit more effort just due to me not being that great on crayfish at the moment. I'm a little bit better than what I was, but we'll get there. Take him home, thank you. And the final crayfish for the day, seems that we had a little bit of a, everyone catches a wee bit for the feed tonight, so thought I'd grab one more crayfish. Seems there's 9 of us and a few mouths to feed, so 3 should do with a mixture of blue cod and all that other stuff. And a good breather because it's a little bit deeper. Just going for a little bit of a search. There's a nice crack under here that seems like it might hold some potential, but it's a bit of a deeper crack, and ironically right beside the anchor rope, so it's just marking it for me, which is quite handy. Now we go in, and he's a little bit of an awkward spot, so I've actually had to go in and he's gone right to the back of his hole. So I've really just forced my hand right down in there, but still in a safe manner, I guess, and get him. Happy days. That there's an end of the trip, and thank you so much for coming along and watching. I'd really appreciate it if you hit the follow button and a like, but if you don't, then that's all good. Thanks for coming, I really appreciate it. Cheers.